Hello, dear children. Today, let us do the fourth chapter of your geography. The name of the chapter is Maps. Map is a diagrammatic representation of an area of land or sea showing physical features, cities, roads, etc. So, now let's start the lesson. You have learned in the previous chapter about the advantages of a globe. Boys, in our earlier chapter, we have learned about the importance of a globe. What is a globe and importance of a globe we have learned. However, globe has limitations as well. However, globe it has limitations. Everything cannot show minutely in a globe. A globe can be useful when we want to study the earth as a whole. A globe it can be useful at the time when we want to study the whole earth. But when we want to study only a part of the earth as about our country, states, districts, towns, and villages, it is of little help. But see, boys, when we want to study only a part of the earth, not the whole part of the earth, as about our art, about our country, states, districts, towns, and villages, it is of little help. There we cannot know everything from a globe. In such a situation, we use maps. So, in such matter, to know these small areas, we use maps. In such condition, maps are useful. A map is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. A map is a representation. It is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on flat surface according to a scale. So if anybody asks you what is a map, boys, you have to answer a map. From a map, you have to mark from a map. You have to answer. A map is a representation of or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. But it is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. But it is impossible to make flat or flatten a round shape completely. We find that maps are useful to us for various purposes. So we find maps, they are useful to us for our different purposes. One map shows a small area and a few facts. Another map may contain as many facts as a big book. One map, it shows a small area, a particular area, and a few facts. Not everything shows there. Another map may contain as many facts there as a big book. When many maps are put together, we get an atlas. So, when many maps are put together in a volume, we get an atlas. So, here atlas, you can know what is an atlas. It is having several maps inside a book. Atlases are of various sizes. So, atlases, they are of different sizes. Measurements drawn on different scales. Measurement drawn on different scales. Maps provide more information than a globe. Maps, was it provide more information than a globe. They are of different types. Some of them are described below. Maps are of here, that means we find maps provide more information than a globe. See how maps are different from globes. They are of different types. Maps are of different types. Different types of maps are there. Some of them are described below. Some of their types of maps which are described here as under. So before doing this, different types of maps, boys, have a look towards the right margin of your chapter. This maps chapter. Let's do this one which you have to do, or you have to practice this. Take an old rubber ball and draw whatever you like all over it. You need to take a ball and draw whatever you like on that ball. You may also mark North Pole and South Pole on it. North Pole and South Pole, you can mark there. So you may also mark that. Now cut this ball with a knife and try to flatten it. So now you cut this ball with a knife and try to flatten it. Try to make it flat. Notice how the drawings are distorted. Notice here how the drawings are pulled or twisted out of shape. Distorted means pulled or twisted out of shape. Now boys, let us see the different types of maps. Physical maps. Maps showing natural features of the earth such as mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. are called physical or relief maps. those maps which show us natural features of the earth, like mountains, plains, plateaus, rivers, oceans. Means these are natural things. So these natural features, those map which shows, they are called physical or relief maps. So if anybody asks you what are physical maps, you have to answer this. Those maps which show us natural features of the earth, such as mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc., are called physical maps. Mark it and learn by heart this one. Then now let us do political maps. Let us see what are political maps. Maps showing cities, towns, and villages and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political maps. Here, physical, you see, physical features does not mention here. In political maps, it shows cities, like as our Imphal city, Imphal, that means towns and villages, different villages and towns and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political maps. So political, what are political maps? Political maps are those maps which show us cities, towns, and villages and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political maps. You mark it. This one also. Physical maps, you know. Then you have learned about political maps also. Now another types of map, that is thematic maps. Some maps focus on specific information such as road maps, rainfall maps, maps showing distribution of forests, industries, etc. are known as thematic maps. So here, this one also, some maps, they focus on specific information. They focus neither, that means in the physical features or political anything there. So they focuses on specific information. As example, road maps, rainfall maps, maps showing distribution of forests, industries, etc. are known as thematic maps. You must be clear this. And the difference of this, all the three, I think you are clear here, boys. Suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided in these maps. Suitable title. Above that means titles are given on the basis of information which are provided in these maps. Rainfall maps or other things like that, okay? There are three components of maps. Boys, this one also can be asked, what are the three components of maps? They are distance, direction, and symbol. These are the three components of maps. Mark this one also and learn by heart this one also, okay? Distance. Now let us discuss one by one the three components of maps. Distance. Maps are drawings which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper. Maps are drawings. They are drawings which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper. Its size is reduced here. Its sizes make smaller in order to show the entire world or a part of it which is fit on a sheet of paper. Or we can say maps are drawn to reduce scales. Or here we can say maps, these are drawn to reduce scales. But this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the places is real. But this reduction without, that means, any proper idea, it is not done, boys. It is done very carefully so that the distance between the places is real. It can only be possible when a small distance on paper represents a large distance on the ground. It is only possible when a small distance on paper represents a large distance on the ground. Therefore, a scale is chosen for this purpose, and that is why a scale is chosen here for this purposes, okay, to represent or show large area in a small scale like that. Scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. Scale, it is a ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance which is shown on the map. For example, the distance between your school and your home is 10 kilometers. This example is said the distance between your school and your home is 10 kilometers. That means from school, your home is at a distance at a far of 10 kilometers. If you show this 10-kilometer distance by 2 centimeter on a map, it means 1 centimeter on the map will show 5 kilometers on the ground. So here, if you show this 10-kilometer distance by 2 centimeter on the ground, on a map, it means 1 centimeter on the map will show 5 kilometer. 5 plus 5, it becomes 10. So that means 5 kilometer on the ground. The scale of your drawing will be 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometer. So scale of your drawing, it will be 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometer. That means 1 centimeter represented by 5 kilometer. Thus, scale is very important in any map. In this way, scale is very important for any map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on a map. And if you know the scale, then you will be able to calculate the distance between any two places on a map. When large areas like continents or countries to be shown on a paper, then we use a small scale. In case we need to show a large areas like continents or countries on a paper, then we use a small scale here. For example, 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 kilometer of the ground. As example, 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 kilometer of the ground. It is called a small scale map. So it is called a small scale map. When a small area like your village or town is to be shown on paper, then we use a large scale, that is 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 meters only on the ground. It is called large scale map. See, when a small area like your village or town or school is to be shown on a paper, then we use a large scale because area is not so vast. So in such a matter, we use a large scale, that is 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 meters only on the ground. It is called a large scale map. So the difference between these two, small scale map and a large scale map, this one also you must read, boys. It will be helpful for you at any time. Large scale maps give more information than small scale maps. Large scale map, it gives us more information than small scale maps because large scale map, it can show us that means many information, and by the way it cover, that means a short area. That's why have a look towards the left side of page number 24 of your book. Let's do this one also again. Ask to do, boys. Look at the figure 4.1. There is a scale. You have to look 4.1. So there is a scale, boys. Look at the figure 4.1. There is a scale. It may be used for measuring distance between places. So it may be, this scale may be used in order to measure distance between places. For example, the distance between the well and tree is 5 centimeter. The distance in between well and tree is 5 centimeter. It means that the actual distance is 50 meters. Means here the actual distance is 50 meters. Now the distance between the PO A to Karim's house E is 12 centimeter. It means 120 meters on the ground. But you cannot fly like a bird directly from E to A. You will have to walk on the road. Let us measure the total walking distance from E to C, then C to M, M to B, and B to A. Add all these distances. This will be the total walking distance from Karim's house to the post office. Okay, after taking out all the sums, that means after totaling it, you will get what? You will be, this will be the total walking distance from Karim's house to the post office. PO means post office, boys. So distance is the first component of map. So far we read about that. Now let us see another component of maps, that is direction. Most maps contain an arrow marked with the letter N at the upper right hand corner. Have a look there. That means in page number 25 at the corner, it points what? North side, boys. So most maps it contain an arrow like this, which is marked with the letter N at the upper right hand corner. This arrow shows the north direction. N stands for north. It shows north direction. It is called the north line, and it is called north line. When you know the north, you can find out other directions. For example, east, west, and south. If you know the north directions, it becomes easy for you to know other directions. It is because of opposite of north direction is south, you know. And then towards its left side, we have with direction east, and just towards that means your right side you got east direction, and then towards your left side you will get west direction. So north, opposite of north is south. Towards your right side, east direction is there, and opposite of east is west direction. This way you can find out the four directions. There are four major directions, boys: north, south, east, and west. You know, these are the four major directions. Every morning we can see sunrises. So the direction is called east, and opposite of east is, if you stand facing towards sunrise, your back side is west. Okay, then right, east, west you got, then and then north, south, like this you will get. So here, figure 4.2a, they are called cardinal points. So you see, these are called north, south, east, west are called cardinal points. Other four intermediate directions are northeast, in short, it has written NE, southeast SC, southwest SW, and northwest NW. So these are other four intermediate directions. We know north, south, east, west, these are four cardinal points. Okay. Then other four intermediate directions are northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. You must know it. In between north and east, you find northeast. In between south and east, you can see there southeast. In between south and west, southwest. And the last one, that is in between north and west, northwest direction is there. We can locate any place more accurately with the help of these intermediate directions. Boys, we can locate, we can place, we can, that means indicate any place. We can indicate any place more correctly, accurately, okay, with the help of these intermediate directions. Find out the following directions from the figure 4.1. The direction of the community center, the playground from Vikas's house, the direction of school from shops, That means from the above picture you have to find out this boy. This is quite easy. I think you can do it. The direction of the community center, the playground from Vikas's house, the direction of a school from shops. We can find out the direction of a place with the help of compass. So direction of a place we can find out with an instrument which is known as compass. Boys, recently we have purchased this compass for our geography lab. Many see instruments for our geography classes have reached in school. School has purchased many instruments related to geography. You can see as and when you come in school, you can see there this compass. So compass, remember it is a device. We can find out the direction of a place with the help of this compass. Brigadier, army major, they used to carry this compass. Okay, even navy also they used to carry this compass. It always point north direction, boys. This compass, it used to indicate north direction. And if we know this north direction, other directions, it is becoming easy for us to know, to indicate. So, what is a compass? This one also you must know. It is an instrument used to find out main directions. If anybody asks you what is a compass, you have to say a compass is an instrument which is used to find out main directions. To find main directions, it is used. Its magnetic needle always points towards north-south direction. So its magnetic needle, it always used to point towards north direction. See in figure 4.2b. Here that means it has drawn this. Okay, you can see the figure of a compass which has drawn here in page number 25. So let's up to here for today. Thank you all.